So we start off with a Fox 10 News alert. A deadly crash on I-10 west of Tonopah involving several semi-trucks. Eastbound lanes are closed at milepost 80. The crash involves 3 semis. One of those drivers has died. Do we have video of this? I know we have the helicopter in the area. Is there no video at all? Okay, here's the video. Excuse me. So you can see there are actually 2 different accident scenes. 2 semis. You can see it looks like the one in front has been rear-ended by the red semi-truck in the back, at least the cab area. And then a 3rd semi, the yellow one, came in and struck that other semi. So we have no idea what would cause this, whether it was inattention, whether the first semi had rolled over first and then the second one hit it. We understand there is 1 fatality here. But the bottom line is this. This is an area south of Siloam, if you're familiar with that. It's about 100 miles outside of the valley. This is the eastbound, these are the eastbound lanes. So it would be somebody coming in from, say, LA or Quartzsite or something like that, coming into the valley. And the road is completely shut down. And you can see right here, they're turning vehicles around in that turnaround lane. There's not a good area to get around this. There just aren't a lot of other roads out there. So, I mean, you could jump all the way down to Interstate 8. You could go up, try to go up north. But with a fatality like this, number one, and then the fact that you've got those 3 massive trucks, literally, you know, 2 of them on their sides on the road there. This is going to be a very long delay. So if you're expecting somebody coming in from Los Angeles, especially on I-10, you might want to go ahead and tell them, find another route or, you know, wait probably, I would imagine, several hours to get that going. Big scare overnight for a West Valley family after their home catches fire. The fire broke out about 1:30 this morning in an El Mirage neighborhood near Grand and Thunderbird. Several crews showed up to the scene. We're told the shed was fully involved when they arrived. But firefighters kept the fire from spreading to the house. The family of 4 got out okay and they were able to go back home. A boat and some other items inside that shed. Not clear how much damage was there or how that fire started. Check out what one driver did at an Ahwatukee Chipotle. The restaurant turned into a bit of a drive-through. A van smashing into the corner of the building. This is 40th Street and Chandler Boulevard. That's a fairly new restaurant there. One person inside suffered some minor scratches, but you know, I've been in there when the entire place is packed. And when you look at where that car hit, very lucky nobody was seriously injured here. No word on what caused the driver to lose control. A lot of rescues taking place on the mountains around the valley this time of year, but an unusual one happened yesterday on South Mountain. A woman getting stuck between 2 giant boulders. Fire crews say the 29-year-old was hiking near the Kiwanis Trail, dropped her glasses, and the glasses kind of fell down in between these 2 big boulders. So she looked and thought, well, I can go down and get them, crawled between the boulders, got under them, and then got stuck. Couldn't get out. And it wasn't easy. I mean, more than a dozen Phoenix firefighters had to work to dislodge the hiker using the jaws of life or their hydraulics to pry open those rocks. As you can see, they got her out and they brought her down the trail in a basket and checked her out. She wasn't hurt. She went right home. Firefighters say the boulders that trapped that woman weighed as much as 5 tons. So, yeah, weird. Able to get in and not able to get out. Starting this morning, Arizona teachers will begin to vote on whether or not they will walk off the job. The vote will happen for the next 3 days, includes union and non-union teachers across our state. It comes 3 days after Governor Ducey announced a plan where he says he will increase teacher pay by 20% by 2020. But teachers say the plan doesn't address other needs of their schools, including raises for support staff and more money for the classrooms. It's not clear also, they say, where that money will come from.
You're grilling the people who are working hard on behalf of our 1 million public school students in Arizona, when the people who are in that building and that building and that building are the ones who've been withholding the funding.
So Red for Ed organizers will host community organization meetings on Saturday. Any type of walkout wouldn't happen until at least next week. And we have not heard a plan about what's going to happen with these kids. Are the schools, if there is a walkout, going to provide some sort of a place for the kids to go? Are parents going to have to take days off work or find daycare and things like that? So unanswered questions as we go forward today. First day of voting. Arizona Senator John McCain recovering from surgery. He was admitted to the Mayo Clinic over the weekend to be treated for an intestinal infection. McCain's office says the senator's in stable condition. Over the last few months, he's been getting physical therapy in his home in Cornville, north of the valley, and recovering from the side effects of cancer treatment. The 81-year-old Republican diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer last summer. Today is tax day, which means if you've not yet completed your tax return, you need to get it done by the end of the day. You have until midnight to file your taxes. If you need to mail in your taxes or need an extension, you have to postmark that by today. 18 offices around the valley will be offering full services to customers until 6 p.m. The main post office just off 48th Street in Van Buren will be open late tonight. And you want to go ahead and drop off a blue collection box. Make sure to check for the last pickup time because, again, you have to be postmarked today. Some businesses are helping to ease the burden of tax day with some good deals. Boston Market has a $10.40 tax day meal, half a chicken, individual meal, 2 sides, cornbread, and a drink. Sauce is offering $4.17 glasses of wine and beer for the date. And Raw Sushi is offering a second drink for $1 when you purchase one at full price. Grimaldi's Pizza, 16-inch pizzas for $10.40. And Rubio's offering its usual Tuesday taco deals all day instead of just select hours. So yeah, you got a little food you can get there and maybe take the edge off of cutting that check. Because by now, I mean, if you're filing today,
yeah,
you're probably paying, right?
Yeah.
You're not waiting for a refund.
We pay every year, so I already sent my check.
Right.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, what do they say? The 2 things that are always promised in life, death and taxes.
Yep.
So I don't know when I'm going to die, but I know I paid my taxes, so that's good. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. You know, traffic feels like, well, it's a Monday for me because I wasn't here yesterday, but boy, is it rough out there. We've got accidents everywhere, making for a really, really slow commute. Of course, you just saw what's going on the 10 eastbound out at Tonopah. So that's really going to hang up drivers, especially those that are coming in from way west of town, west of the valley. Inbound, we still have this accident reported. It's at the off-ramp at 75th Avenue. It is on the westbound side, so that's technically outbound. Inbound, really slow. Red and orange indicating speeds well below the normal, almost crawling stopped conditions there. Eastbound on the 101 at 59th Avenue, that's a new accident, so you'll see a little slow traffic there. Then we've got this one at 7th Street, in between 7th Avenue and 7th Street on the eastbound side, and then another one on the eastbound side of the 101. That's at Cave Creek, so a really slow 101 commute from the northwest Glendale part of town heading in toward North Phoenix. Here's the 60. The East Valley hasn't really seen any problems as far as accidents, but typical morning slowing out there at Country Club.
Okay, at 7:09, let's get over to Corey and take a look. It was breezy on the way in today.
Yeah,
I noticed that, yeah.
You should have seen Carmen Blackwell this morning.
Oh, it's
really?
like a photo shoot.
I know.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, the wind was just kind of whipping her hair. It was, I thought she was a Coachella, honestly.
Right? With the fans?
Yes.
Yes.
It was that impressive. And it can be you as well today. Just shake that pony out and just get it going. It's going to be a beautiful, breezy day, but be careful, especially if you're in the western part, or the eastern part of the state, rather, anywhere where there's a lot of heavy forest, because it's so windy and it's so dry that it's quite possible that a little spark could really get something bad going. So the National Weather Service has something to say about that. A red flag warning out for everybody you see in the east. So that's from about central Navajo and Apache counties all the way south to the Mexico border. No outdoor burning allowed. So fire weather is pretty rough, very windy and very dry. The rest of the state is under a wind advisory. And you can see now in the west, boy, this morning at Kingman, the winds were gusting to 35 miles an hour or more. The western part of the state is sort of quieted down, but look how gusty it still is out east. We've seen a gust at St. John's in the last 10 minutes of, there you see it, 52 miles an hour. Mid-40s for Winslow and Show Low. So it's howling over there. Just make sure you're not burning anything outdoors. It's verboten today. So over the next couple of days, we'll keep things on the cool side for sure. Today, just the mid-70s. Look at tomorrow and Thursday, just around 80. And then Friday comes back with another day at about 75. So a great work week still ahead of us. Full forecast in a little bit.
All right, buddy. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Cor.
Let's get out to Ron in the newsroom, who's covering some breaking news stories for us. Hello, Ron.
All right, you guys, the federal government conducts a raid on Michael Cohen's home and office. He's a lawyer for President Trump, personal lawyer, and alarm bells go off in the White House. So now this issue is going to be fought in court. What do the feds have? There had been reports that Cohen sometimes made tapes of conversations. And is attorney-client privilege being violated in a case like this? The judge has got to be making all these rulings. And so the judge decided yesterday to have other people not directly involved in this investigation with the government, take a look at all the different documents to see what can and cannot be used if the federal government does decide to pursue criminal charges against Cohen. Stormy Daniels and her lawyer were in court pushing for documents pertaining to her apparent one-night stand with Donald Trump to be made public. And Cohen's mystery client was revealed. You no doubt heard about that yesterday as Sean Hannity, who had some real pushback on his show. He says he's never retained Cohen about his services and mostly asked him about real estate. So what happens next? We're going to continue to watch closely. By the way, the president is going to be hosting Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe today in Florida at the Mar-a-Lago Resort. It's a chance for the two to talk about his upcoming meeting with the North Koreans. Remember, the goal originally was to try to get it done in May, the face-to-face with President Trump and the man you see on the screen right there, Kim Jong-un. So we'll see what President Trump and Shinzo Abe work out regarding all of that, and whether or not the president will exempt Japan from steel and aluminum tariffs. All right, so what's going wrong at Tesla? Some question marks this morning as they announced the suspension of production on their Model 3 electric car. It's the second time in the last 60 days they've had to temporarily shut down operations. They claim it's not unusual and that the time will be used to improve automation and address bottlenecks to increase production rates. But it is unusual because you don't see a lot of the other more traditional car makers suddenly shutting down operation for 5 days and basically telling everybody to go home. So the Model 3 is the company's most affordable car, you guys. They have 400,000 people who have put in pre-orders. So if you're just now thinking you want to get one, there's a little bit of a wait.
About a year is what I'm being told. And that's what it was before this. And look, he went big. He tried to almost fully automate, like a lot of car makers automate the painting and the I forget what they call it, the welding and different things like that.
To make it speedy and efficient.
Yeah, but he tried to automate the
production.
finishing stuff, the little finishing stuff that most humans do.
Yeah.
And
it's not working very well.
No, he even tweeted out that humans are underrated.
Yes, underrated.
Isn't that true?
Yeah. All right, happening now. It has been 14 years since Pat Tillman's tragic death in Afghanistan.
Tillman walked away from a multi-million-dollar NFL contract with the Arizona Cardinals to join the Army Rangers. He was killed by friendly fire in Afghanistan in 2004.
And this morning, One Valley Elementary School that is turning into a middle school is paying tribute to him in a big way. Marcy Jones live now with more on this. Good morning, Marcy.
Good morning. Well, there isn't enough time to list all of the amazing accomplishments of Pat Tillman. As you mentioned, a beloved professional football player turned decorated American war hero. I'm here with Dr. Chad Smith. You really couldn't ask for a better role model for kids. You know, following your dream, hard work pays off, and being a great member of society. Really, tell us about how you got here and naming the school.
You know, when we went through the reconfiguration process from a K-8 to a true middle school, we had to come up with a new brand, a new identity to go along with it. And so when we started going through the naming process, we started to realize what kind of characteristics we wanted to have associated with our school that our kids to aspire to. And then when we got to Pat Tillman as the name, it all clicked. It made perfect sense. He's the guy that we want to make sure that his character of dedication and passion and loyalty and commitment and service are the things that we want our kids to learn here at Pat Tillman Middle School.
And his legacy definitely is so alive in the Valley already. Anytime you see the number 42, it kind of goes on through your mind. Pat's Run every year, obviously very popular, thousands of people in that. This is so great to have something every day, though, that kids are going to see the name, see the logo, and know what it stands for. But it's beyond the name. We're adding other things, the curriculum and the after-school programs and sports.
Yeah, you know, Pat, what people forget about Pat is that he was a scholar and that he was an amazing man that really cared about education, about learning. He was inquisitive. And so when we started to think about the vision of the new school, we wanted to make sure that we encapsulated all of those elements. So with new curriculum and elective pathways, and we pay tribute to Pat through our Kinetics program, which is an elite sports training program that our kids can go through here at Pat Tillman Middle School. So we're kind of combining the best of both worlds. We're trying to create great athletes, but we're also trying to create scholars and then great citizens.
Awesome, and you're going to have a lot of important people here today, including Pat's family. Really quick, when does this school all start?
So we'll finish this year as a K-8 school, and then July 1st, We're 100% Pat Tillman Middle School.
Yes.
School starts August 6th, and we're open for enrollment. So if you're interested in going to a great school, have your kids come down to Pat Tillman Middle School.
So much. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Guys, this is so cool. It's happening today at 10.
Yeah, love that. That's a great honor.
Sure
Inspirational
is.
quotes and things and all the new programs. And I even wrote on Facebook, I think it's neat that now generations of kids who are just not even born yet are going to go through that school in a very intimate way and learn about Pat Tillman. You know. All right, thanks, Morris. Starting tomorrow, this is another one of his legacies. You can start picking up your packets for this year's Pat's Run.
The run has sold out, and nearly 28,000 people are expected to hit the streets that day. Pat's Run is the premier fundraising event for the Pat Tillman Foundation, an organization that honors Pat Tillman by providing scholarships for veterans and their spouses. The run is happening this Saturday in downtown Tempe.
Love it, because it's manageable.
4.2 miles.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can walk it. And then it ends, does it still end inside the stadium?
I believe
think
so.
That's a really cool part of that. So it's been over 8 months since Navigator Buddies hit Sky Harbor Airport.
The program offers therapy dogs to be used as emotional support and stress relief while traveling, and now it's expanding to Terminal 2 and 3.
That's where our Carmen Blackwell is at Sky Harbor. Carmen.
Well, good morning, friends. I'm inside now, so of course I'm a lot warmer, but we're at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport this morning for some good news. That's right. The program Navigator Buddies is actually being spread not only from Terminal 4, but to Terminal 2 and 3. So that's going to be great news for those who are some animal lovers and love their pets. So good morning, Misty. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Perfect. So you've got a cute little friend with us this morning. Her name is Abby. Tell us all about her.
Right. So this is Abby, and she was a part of our first pilot program, so she's been with us in September, and she's just been great. She comes out once a week and provides some furry fun for our passengers.
Yeah, so just get a little bit deeper into that. You know, Navigator Buddies is an excellent program for those who are really stressed out in the airport and they kind of need a stress reliever.
Right, so we know that our passengers, they all travel for different reasons, and so sometimes folks just want to stop and play with the dog and have a little fun. Sometimes they miss their dog at home, or they're traveling for unfortunate circumstances, and so the dogs always put a smile on our passengers' faces.
I mean, look at that face and the bow. Oh, this is die for.
How do you not love that face?
I know. So, you know, what's the point of spreading it to Terminal 2 and 3? Was that kind of requested by, you know, the people to customer service, or is that something that you guys just wanted to do here at the airport?
So we've had such a positive response. Everybody loves the program, and so we thought we need to expand this even more and make sure that we reach as many passengers as possible. And so Vice Mayor Thelda Williams is really the cheerleader behind this, and so we just keep growing the program as we get the support.
Yeah, of course. So where can people find these buddies whenever they're passing through the airport, if they come through any of these terminals?
So our dogs start in Terminal 4, and then they work both pre-security and post-security, and they make their way through. So if you ever have a request, you can always call in and ask where the dog is going to be.
Of course, you can kind of catch one of those little furry friends anywhere, anytime you come through any of those terminals.
Absolutely.
That's
yes.
right. Thank you so much, Missy.
You're welcome.
And again, you can catch these Navigator Buddies now in Terminal 4, 2, and 3. For now, that's the latest. Guys, back to you in the studio.
All right, Carmen, thank you for that. Are you ready for football season to start?
Well, the Arizona Cardinals are preparing for a voluntary mini camp at the team's Tempe facility this week.
First time we're going to see our new coach
Yeah.
on the field with a whistle. So we got all your Cards coverage coming up.